welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke. My pronouns are she, her. Welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. Last week I finished Priori of the Orange Tree. Hooray! And I finished Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which I'm just stoked about. I feel like I'm on the reading train. We're just barreling through them now. I can't be stopped. Can't and won't. So anyways, I feel really good about that. Loved Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Priori of the Orange Tree was a bit disappointing, but enjoyable. And now I have started The Crow Rider by Kaylin Josephson, which is the sequel to The Storm Crow, and this is for my Art of Illusion prompt for the Magical Readathon. It is the third out of 4 classes that I'm taking at Aurelium for the spring equinox, so we're doing pretty good. Yesterday I read quite a bit of the book. I have just over 100 pages left of this, so I am pretty sure that I will be able to finish this tonight, which means I get to move on to my 4th and final class, which is it psionics and divination. Anyways, the prompt is to read a book that takes place in the future. For that I'm reading Scythe, which I'm going to pick up at work today. I feel very pleased that I'm getting through some of the books that have been on my TBR forever and also reading new ones. I just feel like a reading machine right now, and that is like top tier peak feelings. Charlie is chewing on cardboard. If you're wondering what that noise is, it's my bunny. That's what we're reading. I'm really enjoying it so far. The first book was striking to me because it has a lot of representation that I don't typically see in fantasy books. It does the rep well, in my opinion. We have a main character who's a person of color. We also have mental health rep, which is something I really don't see in fantasy books all that much. It is centered on depression, but the way it's talked about and the way it's like portrayed in the book is just, it sticks out to me in a really good way, and I really appreciate that it's in there, especially because the main character goes through a traumatic event and is not okay afterwards. And then we also have normalized LGBTQIA+ rep. And when I say normalized, it's like lots of books have this representation, however they bring attention to the fact, like a little bell being like, look! This one doesn't do that. They're just there living their normal life as the main character is. There's a gay character and there's a non-binary character that pops in this book as well. And they just use the they them pronouns like without drawing any attention to it, and I was just like, yes, that is how you put LGBTQI+ rep in your books. Just do it. I'm just super enjoying it. So those things like really stuck out to me from the first book, and the writing is quite well done as well. I really had nothing bad to say about it. I think I just wanted more of it from the first book from what I recall, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm so far really enjoying The Crow Rider. Just barreling through it. I really don't have anything bad to say about it so far. I'm gonna finish that hopefully today, and then we'll move on. I'm excited. This morning I am going to drink my tea and read for a little bit before I have to go to work, and hopefully I will be coming back with an update later today, finishing this book. I'll see you later. Hello, it's 9 p.m. I'm in my kitchen making pasta because I'm starving. And I just finished reading The Crow Rider by Kaylin Josephson. So prompt number 3 of the Magical Readathon complete. I'm a reading machine! I just feel accomplished, it's fine. I gave it a 4.5 stars. I think it's like such a wonderful read. And that duology is like special to me, I think, because I don't know, there's really nothing bad to say about them. They're wonderful reads I will forever recommend. They have amazing representation, in my opinion. And I just think they're wonderful. They're definitely books I think I'm gonna reread a lot. I did too bring home Scythe today. This is Neil Shusterman is the author. This is my pick for my divination class, which the prompt for that is to read a book set in the future. A few other people were reading this, and I had seen it and knew it was quite popular, so I was like, I'll give it a go, but I know nothing about it, so let's read the back, shall we? Arc of a Scythe, Book 1. Thou shalt kill. My past is gonna boil over. A world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all of those things, and has even conquered death. Now scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. Citra and Rowan are chosen to apprentice to a scythe, a role that neither wants. These teens must master the art of taking life, knowing that the consequence of failure could mean losing their own. They learn living in a perfect world comes only with a heavy price. A Prince Honor Book, Scythe is the debut of a thrilling new series by National Book Award-winning author Neil Shusterman. So it feels like it's quite dystopian, and I think that's why it will fit for the book set in the future, but it also feels like not too far out, like dystopian, or not too on the side of sci-fi, which is not my favorite genres. This one still feels like it could be quite fantasy-esque, and so I think I will enjoy this rather than a full-on sci-fi book. I just can't get into them. I just can't do it. I legitimately know nothing going into it, so I will be very surprised. I'm pumped. I'm gonna start that this evening. Good morning. I'm currently on page 86th of, did I say 86th? I don't know, 86 of Scythe, chapter 8. And I'm actually enjoying it so far. I didn't think I would. It is a lot more set in the future than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be one of those books where it's kind of like an undetermined time frame where it's futuristic but past at the same time. And this is more leaning towards the futuristic aspect, but I don't hate it like I expected to. I'm actually quite enjoying it, and I want to read it, which is really good. I was afraid that it was going to be one of those books that I had to force myself to read because I wasn't in the mood for it, but I think I'm going to get a decent page count in today. I'm taking the day to read and relax because I have the busiest next 5 days of all time. I have so much going on. I have so much travel to do back and forth between places. And also, I just have a lot of other books that I'm really excited to read and that I would love to get in this month. So I want to read a lot of this. I would love to get through this as quickly as possible. That's the update. I'm gonna keep reading. Scythe reading update. I'm on page 178. Part 3 I've just hit. And this is really good. Like, I was not expecting to like this so much. I really wasn't. Like, it's very dystopian. It's not as much sci-fi as I was expecting, which I'm quite pleased about. I was thinking like that I would probably just read this one book and be like, yeah, it was good, I enjoyed it, and then not read the rest of the series. But like, where I'm at right now, I feel like I'm gonna read all of this, like this entire series. I'm finding it really well written, and it's like very intriguing because it takes place probably a lot of years after now, but the date mentioned is 20 years from now. So it's like very interesting to think about like what's mentioned in this book and where life could possibly go in 20 years, what we could discover in 20 years. But it also makes a lot of like really interesting comments about life and like what would happen if we solved all our problems. And as I was reading this, I was taking a quick little Bookstagram break, and I stumbled upon a reel, and it was just talking about in the absence of problems, the problem becomes the absence of problems. So there's truly like never an absence of problems. There's always something problematic going on. And it's just like this reel, I'll have to link it because this reel just like hit me. It was like, that is this book. It feels like this book. It's really intriguing, and it brings up a lot of really interesting points. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm surprising myself by how much I'm liking it. And I think hitting my page goal for the day is not going to be an issue. Scythe update before I go to bed. I've read a bit more. I hit my page goal for the day. I have surpassed it. I am now on page 341, chapter 31, 78% of the way through this book. I Kid you not, I read one chapter last night. The rest of this I have read today. And I didn't think I was going to like it. Would you look at that? I am for sure going to, I think, buy the rest of the series. This I'm gonna finish tomorrow. I have less than 100 pages. I have about, I don't know, just under 90. That will be easily finished tomorrow. And then all of my classes and main reading prompts for the magical readathon will be done. And then I have a bunch of quests that I want to do, but those are fun. Those are like extras. So I'm so excited. I feel like I've done a lot of good reading this week. This is a good reading month. It's a good reading month. Hello, good morning. I feel like it's going to be a chaotic update, but are we surprised? It's me. I feel like I just ooze chaotic energy all of the time. First and foremost, I finished Scythe this morning. I am so pleasantly surprised with this book. Like, I went in knowing nothing. Also not being a fan of sort of like dystopian, sort of sci-fi feel. I wouldn't say that this book is super sci-fi. I'm really sorry if you can hear my washing machine in the background. I wouldn't say that this book is like super sci-fi, but it is more futuristic and dystopian, and I'm not always a fan of that. I'm a big fantasy fan. I like worlds in the past where technology's not really a thing, that kind of thing. So I wasn't sure just how much I was going to like this, but it surprised me. I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 4.75 out of 5 stars. I think it's really well written. I think it's a really interesting commentary on future and what the future could look like if we sort of get everything that we dream of, you know? It also sort of like asks the question of, even though we can, should we? It's also about compassion and camaraderie within a political, corrupt organization, and the characters kind of have to fight through that as they go through the novel, and I think that brings a lot of really awesome tension and conflict to the story, and I was wowed. I was quite wowed by this story. I loved the writing. It felt so easy to read and understand, and it had such great pacing. Like, I never felt that we were lagging, or I really didn't ever feel bored reading this book. I binge read it so much, and I really enjoyed it. I did give it a 4.75, not a 5-star, because the sort of ancestry, genetic typing sort of thing was like a weird focus in the first half of the book, and I can see why. It's meant to be used to eliminate like racial bias. However, there were moments where it was like just seemed thrown in there just to remind us that this is a utopian society that's, you know, a lot more equal than our current day society, and I just felt like it wasn't fully explained well enough for me. I just went, why are we focusing so much on this? Like, in moments where, for example, the Scythes have a quota of how many people they have to kill per year, and of that quota, they have to have like roughly equal percentages of each sort of background, racial background. They have to remain impartial. And so the tallies of who they kill comes into play, and if a Scythe has a larger quantity of one or the other, then they get reprimanded for it and disciplined on that, which in that case, focusing on the different ancestries, I go, great, okay, awesome. We are ensuring unbiased gleaners. But there's a moment where our two main characters ask what each other's percentages are, and it's not really explained why they're asking or why it matters. And I go, why is that in there? Why? What was the point? It just felt a little cringe to me, and I wish that that had been further explained so I could better understand that. But the rest of the book I really enjoyed. There's a bit of mystery and intrigue, and I think it ends in a really great spot. It's a really good setup for the rest of the books in the trilogy, and I was just like so pleasantly surprised with this book. I had a hard time putting it down, which I never thought would happen to me with a dystopian sci-fi book. It just has it feels so multi-layered. It has like a really intentional feeling depth to it as well. And I just thought it was really good. I can't wait to read the rest of this trilogy. I am gonna check what the August readathon sort of requirements are for magical readathon, because I know that I read this for like a class I'm taking, and I know that in the next readathon we read for our grade levels, and you have to get certain grade levels for certain, did I say this right? You have to get certain grade levels for certain classes. So if I have to get a certain grade level for the psionics and divination class, which is the class I read this book for, then I might read the other 2 books for that readathon. Now, however, that's all of my classes and required reading for the readathon, like, done. Accomplishment achieved. Now I have quests that I would love to read. This might be a bit ambitious, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that I would like to read. One of them is on here, so don't come at me saying you're only holding 5. I know that. One's an e-library loan. 6 books that I would like to read before the end of the month. It might be a little ambitious of me, especially considering that I am starting the busiest 5 days of all of April. Like, I have things going on every single day until next week. So it's like gonna be super busy, and I might not have as much time to read as I have had this past week. So we shall see, but I'm gonna give it a go. So here, real quick, this is where the chaos comes in. I have 5 quests for magical readathon that I would like to do. And then, because I thought, why the heck not, I decided to participate in the catathon readathon hosted by a couple of bookstagrammers. It's a 48-hour readathon that centers around cats. Like, I have entered my crazy cat lady era. I'm there. You can't take me out of it. This is who I am now. And so I went, yes, I want to do a readathon that's about cats. So basically, there's 2 prompts for that, which is to 1, read a book with a cat on the cover, and 2, read a book with a cat that reminds you of your cat, or that has a cat you'd love to have in your life. I have a couple of books in this pile for that readathon as well. I am gonna double one of the books to fit a quest and a catathon readathon prompt, because I'm sneaky like that. First, let me go through the quest books first, and then we'll do catathon readathon. Maybe that's less chaotic. Don't know if it's possible with me. The first quest I'm doing and the next book that I'm reading is The Gilded Wolves by Roshni Chokshi. This book is for the quest to read a book with the letter D in the title. This book I've had forever. It's a heist plot, say no more. I want to read it. I've heard amazing things about it, and what a perfect time to read it. Also, an Instagram filter told me that this should be one of the next books I read, so my fate is sealed. Then I have The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, which for this quest, it's read a book by a new to you author. I have never read R.F. Kuang's books before, but I do have the entire Poppy War trilogy. I hear nothing but amazing things. I hear it's gonna hurt me. I hear it's wonderful and painful and just amazing. So I'm super excited to get into these, and I also really want to read her new book, Babel, which is coming out this year. I don't know when this year, but sometime this year. So I would love to read these first and get acquainted with her writing. Also, let's just appreciate the flop. It's brilliant. Another quest I have is to read a 5-star prediction. So I'm picking up Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. I've been told that this is one of the best books I'll ever read. It's pretty short. I feel like I could finish this pretty quickly. It's also sort of Shakespeare oriented, but about Shakespeare's family. So I'm super pumped. As an actor, I am drawn to that. And then I have, this is also a sneaky one, I have This Might Hurt by Stephanie Rogel. And for this, I'm reading this for the quest of read a book on someone else's TBR. This book is one of my friend's book club picks. She's hosting a book club, and this is one of the picks for this month. So let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We'll read it for a quest because it was on someone else's TBR, and we'll read it for book club. Boom, done. Then I have read a book on loan from the library, and also this is going to double for catathon, readathon prompt. Read a book with a cat that you'd love to have in your life. I have picked Crazy Stupid Bromance by Lisa K. Adams. I have the audiobook on my phone. I have a lot of driving to do this weekend when the readathon is taking place, so this is going to be perfect. And then I also have the physical copy at work put away for me to pick up. So I might go and get that today, and then I will have this for this weekend to read both as an audiobook and a physical book if I so choose. And the cat on the cover is just stupidly cute. So this is an adult romance read, and I'm super stoked about it. I don't know, it just seems cute and intriguing. And then the other book for the catathon readathon prompts to read a book with a cat on the cover, I have The Cat Who Saved Books. This one is a translated fiction. It's translated from Japanese into English, and can we just appreciate this wrap around cover? Isn't it amazing? Fully, that's why I picked up this book, but I'm actually super excited. I don't know if I've ever read translated fiction before, so it'll be a first for me, and it's been on my physical TBR for a couple of months now. What a great opportunity to get another book off my physical TBR. And it's quite short. It's only like 200 pages. I have exactly like 9 days to read 6 books. Can I do it? I'm gonna try my darndest. I have been a reading machine this week. So anyways, that's the update. That's what's going on. Really enjoyed Scythe. All of my required reading for Magical Readathon is done. We're moving on to quests and the Catathon Readathon for funsies. So I am about to head out to town, I think, to grab some grocery items for the next few days, and also I think I'm gonna try and pick up the rest of this series. I did look in the grade levels needed for the Magical Readathon classes, and I do need an O in psionics and divination. And for the O grade level, I believe I have to read 2 books to achieve that grade level. So reading the next 2 books in this trilogy works literally so perfectly. So I'm gonna try and pick those up, and some little grocery items and snackies for the next few days. Hello, good morning. Look, I made cinnamon buns. Want one? This morning, I am just getting ready. I'm about to have my breakfast, my cup of tea. Another little squirrel moment. Does anybody else, when they get a new mug, that's the only mug they want to use for the foreseeable future? You just like keep rewashing and reusing it every day? Because that's where I'm at. Anyways, today I and my coworker are going to Ottawa. We have a work meeting, a leadership meeting in Ottawa, and we're gonna go down early so that we can do some book shopping at one of my all-time favorite used bookstores, which is Black Squirrel Books. Like, I'm stoked. She's never been. I've talked about it to her before, and so I'm so excited that we're going. And then we're gonna shop at a large Indigo store. I work at a small one, so we're super excited to go free at a huge bookstore. And I think then we're gonna go to IKEA. So like, all in all, it's gonna be a great day. I'm gonna be spending some money in my bank account. It's gonna be like, why? But that's a-okay. I did manage to get the next 2 books in the Scythe trilogy, so I have those all set and ready for the next Magical Readathon when I need a very specific grade level in psionics and divination that requires me to read 2 books. I started Gilded Wolves last night. I'm really not far into it. I'm only on page 36, chapter 4. Still meeting the characters, kind of learning the circumstances that everybody's in, but so far I like it. The characters are sassy and it seems like a really great found family, and I love that. So I think I'm going to enjoy these books. I think today I'm going to look for the next ones. I think this is also a trilogy, so at the large format Indigo store, I am going to see if I can find the next books in this trilogy, among other things. Welcome to my crib. I'm so excited to be at IKEA, it's not even funny. The books are real books. Are they in Swedish though? I think so.
Yes, I think so.
What? So, how on brand for IKEA? How on brand? My new reading chair, perhaps? It's like I can fully recline in this thing. This is a great chair. Just got back from Ottawa. Oh my god, I'm exhausted. It's like 11 o'clock. We had a really full day. It was really good. I don't want to look at my bank account though. I have two very heavy bags of books. I got a whack ton from Black Squirrel Books and then a whack ton from Indigo. It's just a lot. And then we went to IKEA and I got a few things from IKEA. I spent a lot of money. Stay tuned for a book haul, which will be up soon. I'm super exhausted. I'm gonna go get ready for bed. I work tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna go get ready for bed, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, I just got home from picking up probably the coolest thing in the entire world. This is the best purchase I have ever made in my entire life, okay? It is a vintage Remington Rand typewriter. I found this thing on Facebook Marketplace and I snagged it. Oh my god, it like fully works. Oh my god. Oh my god! I could cry. Oh my god, it's beautiful. I have wanted a vintage typewriter for the longest time. I think they're stunning. It's beautiful. Sorry, I just figured it out. Just like playing with my typewriter. I want to put a piece of paper in it and see if the ribbon like actually works. I'm not entirely sure. Oh my god, I'm gonna go look up a tutorial. Oh my god! Anyways, I've wanted a vintage typewriter forever because I think they're beautiful and I think that it looks really cool as like a decor piece. But I found this one on Facebook Marketplace. It fully works. I don't even know. I have no words. Like, it's just amazing. And like, it wasn't like $300. I got it at a very decent price too. So this is my new favorite thing in the whole wide world. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm just about to head out to go up north. I have roughly a 3-hour drive, so I'm going to listen to the audiobook of Crazy Stupid Bromance by Lisa K. Adams in the car on the way there. It is the weekend, which means that it is catathon, readathon. So the books that I'm reading this weekend have cats on the cover. So I do have this, but I feel like I'm going to read it as an audiobook because I have a lot of driving to do this weekend. What a perfect opportunity to listen to an audiobook and get some reading in on an otherwise boring drive. Gilded Wolves, I'm enjoying. I love the found family concept. I really don't have many opinions yet because we're still learning about kind of what's going on and who these characters are. But I like what I'm reading so far, so that's good. Tonight I'm going to see a play, which I'm very excited. It's my first bit of live theater since the pandemic started, so in over 2 years. So that's going to be super exciting.
Romance by Lisa K. Adams. Read for you by Andrew Iden.
Hello, hello. I'm home now. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I only got 5 hours of sleep and then I've been driving all day. It's been a busy week and I'm still like tired from all the other hours of sleep that I've missed this week. However, I did finish my audiobook of Crazy Stupid Romance for the catathon readathon. Also, this counts towards my magical readathon quest to read a library loan. I had loaned the audiobook from my Libby app and I finished that. So I can put that in and get some points for my guild in the readathon. I really enjoyed it. I've never listened to a rom-com as an audiobook and I was just like shrieking. This one here, it's very cute and also very dramatic and a little bit angsty. It's definitely an entertaining read and I think I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars. We'll get some spice in there as well. It's super cute. This is, I think, the 3rd book of the Bromance Book Club, and you don't technically have to read them in order, but I think I'm gonna go back and read the other books in this series. I think each book in the series just deals with a different couple, and I think some of the characters overlap, and but otherwise it makes perfect total sense to read on its own. So, and then I have just started The Cat Who Saved Books by Sosuke Natsukawa, and this is a translated book. The translator, if I can find that information, is... it was originally written in Japanese and it was translated into English by Louise Heal Kawai. I apologize if I've gotten that wrong. And I'm not very far into it. I'm only 11 pages in. But so far I'm enjoying it. It's a bit quirky. It's basically about a boy who lived with his grandfather and his grandfather owned a bookshop, and his grandfather passes quite suddenly and the bookshop is left in this boy's possession. So right now we're just trying to figure out what to do with the bookshop. I don't know what my hair is doing. It's fine. It is 200 pages. I'm gonna try to finish this today so that I can get this in for the catathon readathon before that ends. And yeah, I'm exhausted, so I think I'm just going to lay in bed. I have some snacks. I brought up a Pure Leaf lemon to drink, so I'm gonna drink that and read and just be a potato for the rest of today. Good morning. I finished The Cat Who Saved Books this morning, completing the catathon readathon. What a fun little weekend readathon. This book was just so charming. It's like a love letter to people who love books and introverts as well. It talks a lot about the power of books and how books have a soul, and it's just a very quick, very heartwarming, charming read, and I really enjoyed it. It's also just stunning and beautiful. So I gave that a 4 stars. And even though I wasn't fully present on Instagram for the catathon readathon, it got me reading some books that were on my TBR, a physical TBR book that I've had for a little while. And that also concludes this week's reading vlog. Like, what a sweet way to end the week with the catathon readathon. Just so fun, and like, what a fun idea for a readathon as well. So I very much enjoyed that. And I've also been working on my quests for the magical readathon, so that is going along quite well as well. With that, I hope you've enjoyed this week's reading vlog. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!